I'm Patrick Bailey with IQlist.com. Today is April 11th, 2022, and in this video I'm going to show you some stamps I designed in OpenScad and the trials and tribulations of making 3D printed stamps. Okay. Gur's helping. So here are some stamps I made, and they're up on Printables now, so I'll just kind of show them. There's a cross, and there's a little thinking emoji. And I think they work pretty well. I'm kind of having fun with stamps right now. So that's them, pretty simple. They're up there. And I'm also trying to make it more of an OpenScad thing so you can put your own on there. I'm probably going to work on some videos on that. But for right now, I'm just showing these off. But trials and tribulations. I'll probably put some links in here to some other videos I saw. Other people have had trials and tribulations trying to make stamps. And I've learned a couple of things. I talked to my mom, who's a big crafter, about stamps a little bit. And the problem is, if you go out and get regular stamps, they're squishy. And so that squishy, I guess, I'm not a stamp guy, but I guess that squishiness really helps it get a good print on everything. Where here, if you just print out, and these are printed out like this, even though this is PLA. PLA is not squishy. So I was actually having good success doing nothing but just a print like this and then printing on my arm. So it made it pretty good for, doing on a skin because your skin's squishy, right? So it makes sense. But also when I tried to do prints, it didn't turn out very well when I was doing it on a flat surface. And part of it, I think, is the squishiness. Part of it's also the flatness. And I think we can use things like TPU and other softer materials to print out to make it work better. But I want to make it work simple and pretty good. So at some point, maybe I'll figure it out and do a more complicated video to make really good stamps. Right now, I just want good stamps that work. And so what I found out, and I'll kind of show this. Here are two stamps that I printed that have not had any processing done to them yet. So they're just there. Now, if I try to take this and I try to, let me try to get a good ink on that. It's not bad, and that's without any processing. And if I do it on myself, it'll probably turn out pretty good. See, it looks pretty good. But also, as I learned, well, this one's a better ink, but I had a kid-friendly ink, which I thought meant washable. It didn't mean washable. There are washable inks that I have on order. And this eventually comes off, but it's not that easy. But see, now that I have this, see, if I try to do this, it's not, just from a print, it's okay. And let me do the same thing with this guy. That's not bad. That's actually not bad out of the gate. I haven't processed anything. And if I do it on my skin, it'll probably turn out really nice. That one's really nice. Okay, I'll take that back. But then what I did is I took 220 grit sandpaper. Well, oh, sorry, I lied. 400. Thought it was 220. I guess it's 400. For those who aren't familiar, you just go to Home Depot and you get sandpaper. You can actually buy these little strips. They're not very expensive, $2, $3, $4, $5 to get a pack of them. And the higher the number, the finer the grain. The finer you're going to do it. So I guess I'm using 400. So 220 or 400 is probably what I go for to get these a little bit smoother. Anything above that, I tried a little bit. It seems to be overkill. Anything below that's probably going to be too rough. And then all I do is kind of work it. Doing some circles too. You want to try to not get it just one way. You'll see there's a lot of just dust in there. I have to blow it out. Make sure you get that dust out. Okay, so now before that was a pretty good out of the box. Let's see if we can do better now. See? Decent improvement. So I got a lot much finer, and then that one. I could do the same thing. The same thing would happen if I sanded this guy. I'm not going to do it right now just for sake of time. But that's good enough. Now, it could be the case, I'm kind of using big SVGs without a whole lot of detail, and it seems to work. And I'm okay with that. But maybe if I try to do really fine lines, it's not going to work well. I don't know. But for this purpose, making something kind of big and bulky, making something you're going to, stamp someone with or something, or for a paper like a teacher hitting a thing, I think this works. Just a little bit of sanding, and it's good enough. I think, well, could be better, but I think I like it. I'm happy with it. I don't think I need TPU to make this level of stuff work. Okay, some details on this. So I put both of these up on Printables right now. So I'll put a link in the show notes, but here's this one right here, the cross. And then also here's a link, again in the show notes, to the thinking stamp. So out there and available, all the STL files, all the OpenScad files, and also the G-code's out there too. So with that, let me go over some of the details on it. So for the cross, it took 2 hours and 2 minutes to print. It took 2 cents of electricity, so not much, and it weighs 0.01 kilograms, so in material alone, a whole whopping 20 cents based on $20 per kilogram. So all in all, 22 cents to print this, or less than a quarter, so pretty cheap for what it is. And again, it's very similar numbers for this guy, for the thinking one, so that came out to 1 hour and 51 minutes, 1.9 cents for electricity, and it weighs, same weight, 0.01 kilograms, and at $20 per kilogram comes out to 20 cents. So in total, again, 22 cents. So under a quarter, I got 2 little cool stamps, under a quarter a piece, so a whopping 50 cents to make some cool custom stamps. So I'm pretty excited about this. I think I'm actually doing more stamps right now. I'm trying to create a system which I will show in the future once I get there, and I'll probably show off some different stamps and also hopefully show off some better ways to make some stamps. I'm figuring it out. I got some ideas. So I'm nearly there. A few more experiments, and we'll do some more videos on that. So with that, let's just wrap this up with a reminder that 3D printing is an adventure that you're on. You're really on it. You can develop your skills and knowledge and take this in so many ways. You can make a business out of this. You can teach others, and you can make amazing designs. So engineer on. Stamps. So much fun. I'm still going stamp crazy, trying to perfect a 3D printed stamp system in OpenScad, so you can make your own custom stamp simply with an SVG file or even a silhouette, and convert it to an SVG online. Lots of work still to do, but I think it's going to be neat when I'm done.